Hey everybody, welcome to my video. I got a really cool one today. This is the new Traxxas Mini Maxx. This doesn't get released now for 2 weeks, and this is the black exclusive dealer color. So, really cool. There's more pre-orders for this in my hobby store than any other car we've ever had. So, Traxxas or not, this is going to be the hot ticket item for Christmas 2024. They're going to be in high demand and limited supply. And the question I get more than anything is, how big is this truck? So let me show you compared to some other vehicles. It's 14 inches long, roughly, and about 10 inches wide. So unless you have a ruler sitting in front of you, that means nothing. So let's compare this, and then let's dive into it. And here we have the new Mini Maxx compared to some other popular vehicles. We have the Arrma Typhon Grom, the Traxxas Teton, and the Losi Mini T 2.0. So I think based on size, Traxxas is trying to kind of go after the whole Arrma Grom sized vehicles. It's about the size of a 16 scale Revo, which unfortunately I do not have one. It is considerably larger than the Teton in their lineup. And then also, just because I have one handy, this is the Mini T 2.0, and that's what it looks like compared to those. On the larger side of things, we have on the left-hand side one of my drift cars, which would be the same size as the Fortec or any other touring car, and an original Stampede 4x4 on the right. So this is going to fit basically right between your Teton Mini Revo size and your 10 scale Stampede Haas Rustler 4x4 size. And this is the Mini Maxx compared to a Ferret. So now that we know how big the new Mini Maxx is, this is what you're going to get when you open the box. So like every other Traxxas vehicle, we have the pack with the instruction manual, extra stickers, your shock clips for adjusting your spring tension, your four-way wrench, and your little Allen keys. The only thing that some other manufacturers do that I wish they did was include the AA batteries, which is usually in this pack, and I would like to see some fancier tools these days, but regardless, this is what you get for your starter pack here. We do have a brand new battery that is specific for this model, which comes with it. So that's pretty cool. I think this is probably the first vehicle car that's come with LiPo batteries. Their drones have had LiPo batteries for a while now, but the cars usually either come with a nickel metal battery or no battery at all. So this is going to come with a 3500 2-cell LiPo battery, and it's going to come with this brand new charger. So this doesn't look like a whole lot of much, but this is the charger. So you plug your battery into this side. Underneath the sticker on this side is a USB-C, and this is a 2 amp charger. So if you're going to purchase Traxxas's charging block and their cord, or if you have a high wattage block that you're able to plug this into, this will charge, if I can get it in focus, well, it doesn't matter. It'll charge at 2 amps. And so this charger at 2 amps on a 3500 milliamp battery will take about an hour and 45 minutes, roughly. This has the regular Traxxas ID plugs on them, just like everything else. So you could plug this into your regular, blue box charger, and it'll probably charge much faster. But it does come with a charger. It does come with a battery. So this is all inclusive with the exception of those AA's that I wish they threw in here. And we have the standard TQ radio that comes with everything. Nothing crazy to talk about with this radio. I'm sure if you have RC cars, you probably have a Traxxas one already. You probably have this radio. It does what it's supposed to do. It's very basic. And then, of course, the star of the show, the Mini Maxx. That's why you open the box. This is what you want. This baby right here. And here we have it. We can now dive into the Mini Maxx. So first, aesthetics. It looks great. It's just like the regular Maxx or your X-maxx. Obviously, that's the whole thing with the lineage here, is that they're all kind of like nesting dolls of RC cars. And like the other ones, it's both clipless and looks great. So we have scaled down sledgehammer tires, just like the bigger vehicles, like your Stampede 4x4 slash Haas, not slash, Stampede 4x4 or Haas, or the Maxx vehicles will have. So they look really good. They're pretty knobby, good tread depth, nice and squishy. The rims are pretty cool looking. I like the style. I feel like it's a little bit different than some of the other vehicles, but I hope they carry on with this rim style because it looks great. And this body. So again, scaled down just like the Max or X-Maxx. This is the black one, which under the sunlight with that metallic black is so cool. So I took some pictures earlier today of this outside, and it really, really sparkles. It's awesome. The body here is also completely clipped, just like the larger vehicles. The only thing that I do not, well, I don't want to say do not, I'm not the biggest fan of is the getting the clipless off. So basically, parallel to this in the back, you have a clip here, you have a clip here, and then in the front, same thing, you have a clip up here and a clip on this side. So the reason I'm not the biggest fan of this, and I don't think there's a way to avoid it, is that you really have to like get your fingers underneath the body, kind of against the tire. There's really not a lot of room. I don't have very big hands, but to get under there and pop it is a little difficult. I think if they put the clips like in the front and the back, perhaps, like maybe they have on the TRX-4Ms, that would have been better. So that's my only gripe with this car. I've been looking at this thing all day, and I think that's literally my only negative. But you have your clipless here, under the body, just like the TRX-4s and a lot of the other models. Super cool. As far as the chassis goes, I think the neatest part about this is that they shoved the BL2S system in here. So there's no room between the motor and the ESC. This chassis is the shortest length that you can make and fit all this stuff in there. Guys are going to be putting the 3S in here, the VXL 3S system. That's going to fit as well. The like longer Haas motor is not going to fit unless you relocate the ESC and you start getting to kind of logistics with that. But this barely fits. And that's a big friggin' motor for a car this small. If I compare this to the Grom that I had, which is brushless and cool and fast, the motor's not anywhere near this size. So I think the BL2S, when they came out with the Jado, was kind of too small for how big that car is. In a package this tiny, that's freaking sweet. Going along with the rest of the electronics here, we have the standard 2056 plastic gear servo and a servo saver over here. I feel like these days, with how crazy beef everything is, a metal gear servo would have been nice. But for the price of this truck, you can't complain. It's going to be plenty of power to turn these wheels. It's going to be plenty torquey. It's going to be plenty durable. You have a servo saver on here. It's not going to blow out the plastic gears. I have customers that constantly blow everything up. I've been running the same 2075 and 2056 servos in a whole bunch of models for a lot of years. They're very reliable and they just work. So if you wanted to in the future, you probably could put a nice Metal Gear servo in here. But as it is, I think that is perfectly good for the size of this vehicle. And then on to the actual design of the car. So lots of styling cues here from the larger Maxes with your shock hoops and the way the chassis is kind of tapered down here in this tub style. So it is, I think, as close as you're probably going to get to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Not trying to date myself on age, but Honey, I Shrunk the Kids version of the X-Maxx to Max and then down to this. So it's kind of cool that the lineage here actually really carries everything as closely as it can be. We don't have GTR style shocks on this like we would with the larger Maxes, but the size of these shocks compared to the size of the car is going to be pretty good. These are also way stiffer than what you get like on a Slash. Like a Slash, boop, and it would just flop. These are really stiff. Like, you really have to push these down. So this is going to be a great car to jump. It's so stiff, which is very strange for like a Traxxas vehicle. Usually the shocks are very saggy. The back, let's see, does the back come up? That's like a typical Traxxas thing. Yep, the back sits a little lower than the front. There are no shock clips in here, so I would immediately try to put some shock clips in the back of this. Every Traxxas vehicle, and other cars do it too, the back tends to sag because if the weight is transferred more to the rear and the rear has more of the go, it's going to make the car push more rather than be drifty. So for more of a novice driver, it's going to handle better. But yeah, put a couple shot clips in here. These are so far very small, minor things. The drive shafts are the same size as your like Rustler 4x4 or slash 4x4, anything like that, which obviously is a 10-scale vehicle, much larger. There's almost no room between the drive shaft and the upper and lower control arm. They really could not have made this any thicker without having to make some really ridiculous suspension. But the control arms, the drive shafts, very, very thick. This thing's going to be a little tank. This is cool. And same thing for the bottom of the chassis. Looks like a Mini Maxx. Looks the way if you would picture if somebody said, hey, I have a Max, close your eyes and picture it smaller. It's exact. So this thing is very stout, and it's also very heavy. This thing is surprisingly heavy. I'm going to throw on a scale in a second, and I'm going to see how heavy this is, but it really is beefy. Way more so than I had imagined it would be just looking in photos. And the other thing I think I've kind of figured out is that the bumpers are really they're really soft. I'm putting almost no. I've had to put more pressure to compress the suspension than I do having to do this. So the bumpers are really soft. So I don't know if that's something that like maybe in the future these hoops might break, or if the compounded plastic they're putting out these days is soft enough that it'll be really good for impact resistance. Traxxas has great R&D, so I have to imagine that this was 100% on purpose, and it's going to help add to the crash resilience. But overall, this is so cool. I cannot wait to run this. Which I got the battery charging. Well, I have to wait a couple minutes, but as far as you guys know, it's going to happen, right about like now-ish. Because it is like 11 o'clock at night, and this car does not come with lights, unfortunately, although there will be a light kit in the future, I have made a small indoor track. So most of the videos that I've done a lot of with the Mini B and the Armour Grom and a lot of the small vehicles. And this is my very small abbreviated pumpkin track. So we have a little ramp and come deck down around the pole, back down, and it's a little L track. So I'm gonna run this inside. We're gonna see how it is, how fast it is. In the future, I will have more videos of this running outside. I'm gonna do on a whole bunch of different terrain and really put it through the test. But for tonight, because this is brand new and today is release day, and I just want to play with this right meow because we're all kids at heart, I'm gonna run this on my cool little course I have here, and we're gonna see how it runs, and I'll give you my conclusion after that on my first impressions. Let's do this. I'm excited. So this thing is clearly way too fast for that small little track that I have in my basement. I was just really excited to be able to run this for a couple minutes. It's very quick For how small this is the perfect motor system in this. Unlike the Jado 4x4, where the BL2S definitely is way too slow and leaves a lot to be desired, this thing is so perfectly suited for a 2S setup in it. I was only able to do like a throttle and quick little blips because it's just way too fast for a small area. This is definitely not an inside car where, the Teton, I would definitely run that inside any day of the week. It's awesome. It handles really well. The suspension is very plush, so the little ramp that I had set up, it really didn't get any air because the suspension absorbs all of the impact. So the way this is set up, that's I think it's pretty well done. Really looking forward to being able to run this in other terrain, get it outside. Also got to turn my controller off there. But looking forward to getting this outside, getting on some dirt, get on some mulch, run into the grass. Although it is November, so most of the grass nothing's really growing right now, so nothing's too tall. So, being able to test this in tall grass is not going to be feasible at the moment. But I think this is 100% a hit, and I completely understand why everybody is going gaga over this. It's going to be the hot ticket item. Now, because it's Traxxas, everything aftermarket has already been announced for this. There's so much cool stuff. There's going to be lighting kits. This is the first car that's going to get an underglow kit. So, like these side rails that have underglow on here, so everything will be very 90s, early 2000s, Fast and the Furious style. That's going to be super cool as a 90s baby. That definitely ticks my boxes. That's definitely my first upgrade. Aluminum parts, shocks. There's a whole aluminum shock kit for this, everything. And I know crazy people are putting in the 3S system in here to make this absolutely bonkers. But yeah, I think of all the things that Traxxas has come out with, probably in the last couple of years, since the TRX4Ms were the best thing since sliced bread, in my opinion. And this thing is the follow-up to that. This car is baller. I am very excited about this and looking forward to the future of this. I mean, even if you had like a racetrack, this could be a cool like monster truck off-road class. Back in 2005, monster truck off-road, monster truck oval, that was like a big thing. Playing with this kind of gave me those vibes for some reason. And I think if you threw like a transponder in this and did like a 2S off-road carpet track, maybe you had like a spec tire or something for it, this could be like a real hoot as like a cool little budget class. But for $250, there's a million things you can do with this. I can't believe this is $250 with a battery and the charger, as small and dinky as it may be. This is fully set up, brushless, $250. This thing is awesome. It's going to be near unobtainium this Christmas. So call your local hobby shop, get on their waiting list, order one up, whatever you got to do. These are going to be very hard if you sleep on them to get. So go out there, grab yourself one of these things. I can't imagine in any way, shape, or form how you would be disappointed with this. This is a big hit. It's awesome. So thanks for watching my video. I really appreciate you guys. Hit the like button if you can. Maybe the subscribe. I would love to see some more subscribers. But regardless, this car is super awesome. I do this for a living. I deal with RC cars all day, every day. Most people just get to play with them. I have made my career doing this day and night. And as somebody who gets to play with all the new stuff and see all the new stuff and be a part of it all the time, it's very rare that something comes out that makes me kind of really feel like it's 1997 and I'm a kid again. I'm getting my first RC car. And I feel like this car checks all the boxes to really make you feel that way, if that makes sense. It's awesome. It's the perfect travel size car. It comes with everything. It's the right price point. Buy two of them. If your son wants one for Christmas, get one for yourself as well. Or maybe if you're in your 30s like myself, buy yourself one and buy your dad one as well. These are going to be super cool. Get everyone in the family into them. Get the racetracks into them. This could go so many places. And I think that this platform, because Traxxas likes to recycle a lot of the same parts over and over again, which really allows them to have the best part support in the industry, because they don't have to make 100 parts for every car. When you get to reuse everything, it's easier to have the part support when a control arm fits 4 models as opposed to 1, and being able to keep that in stock. So I could see this also evolving into a mini slash, not the 16th scale slash, like an actual slash, not based off the real platform. Max slash. I could see them doing it into a mini Jado in the future or something else. They could take this platform and do a lot of stuff with it, and I think in the future we're going to see a lot of stuff with it, because based on the popularity and how crazy people are going for this, I think this is like the next thing. And I think it's been proven in the industry with the Armored Groms and some of the other vehicles out there that this size has been the popular thing, and I think it's perfect. So at the price point, at the speed, the durability, I like cars that I can throw in the passenger seat of my car and bring anywhere. I don't have to bring tons of batteries and big chargers and all kinds of stuff. It's all very compact and travel, and I can take it with me. And I think that is really the in style right now. So I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys can do with this in the future. And it's super cool. I really don't see any negatives in this. The body, where the clips are located, are a little bit tricky until you get used to them. But I think with the way this is designed and the BL2S system and all the aftermarket components that are going to be coming out for this, you can't go wrong. This thing is awesome. So again, thanks for watching my video. I'm going to do a lot more content on the Mini Maxx in the future, with running it in different places, bring it to the local RC track, kind of beat the snot out of this thing, put it through its paces. It's awesome. So thanks again for watching. Hit the subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video. Yeah.